What's up, everybody? Just joining in. I figured we were going to go just crazy nuts today, right? I have way too many colors. And I've had this print that I ordered. NASA was like giving away free images. So I downloaded a few of my favorite ones. I turned one into a print because I knew eventually I was going to paint on it. And I guess today is going to be the day. So we're going to prep this with a little bit of liquid clear. And it's already real slick just from the print, but we're going to see if we can't knock out some crazy sort of psychedelic, you know, surrealism sort of mountain. So we're going to do it in the wet on wet technique, just like Bob does. You guys can also catch this video for the people watching live. I'm going to do a YouTube video where we zoom in and zoom out on the details and stuff. So if you want to see it more in depth, it'll probably be up by probably next Wednesday. So I literally have no idea, except I want, you know, like a mountain scene, maybe like a lake of acid at the bottom. We're really going to figure it out. This is how we do it, and that's what we're going to do. We're really going to figure out as we go. No sketching, no anything. We're just going to make it up and let the canvas kind of tell us where to go. And if I want a lake of acid, I'm going to want cad yellow for sure. And I'll show you guys when we get back down that way. Right, get down to that part of the painting. I love doing space paintings because you can literally do whatever you want to do, and you can't tell me that it's not out there somewhere in the cosmos, right? Let's see. All right, so we have a few, nearly all of the Bob Ross colors: the dark sienna, phthalo green, sap green, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, midnight black, titanium white, bright red, Indian yellow, yellow ochre, and cad yellow. Then I found this gold from the MagicFly set that I always tell you guys about. Gotta get those MagicFly colors. They are neat, right? So we have the gold, which should look really cool if I can make like a gold tree or something. It's got like little glitter and it's nice. Then we have this mid-orange, mid-yellow, the, what's this one? Like the emerald green, violet. There's like 40 colors in that MagicFly set, so it's hard to keep track of which ones. The lavender, the violet, the rose, and the magenta, right? So what's that? 5, 6, 7, 12, 15, 19 different colors in this painting, okay? And we're going to save the MagicFly paints for the, you know, sort of up-close highlights and stuff on our trees, all right? All right, no more talking, Josh. Let's get to it. Got our brand new thing of liquid clear. Going to use the last of our brush cleaner that we have, and then we have to go restock, right? I use Jasco brush cleaner. It stinks a little bit more, but you know, it seems to work, seems to be a little bit stronger. Cleans the brushes a little bit faster with less effort, you know what I mean? So you can find all this stuff. I have an Amazon store that we're going live on as well. I don't know if you guys know about Amazon Live. It's another streaming platform, and we're focusing on, I think, the MagicFly paint set today. So you can watch the video and literally click the MagicFly paints, order them straight to your house, and then you guys can follow along, right? Now you got to be careful when you're doing liquid clear and paint thinner, because you'll have this crazy reaction, right? We just got a little bit on the end of our brush, and I just want to put a little in the areas that I think that I'll be working in, right? It's already very slick already. And we'll go off over there. We'll see what happens. And as the paint picks up all this liquid clear, it'll be able to slide easier, so it doesn't need to be nuts. Man, that just adds just a whole nother layer of depth, just with that clear in there. All right, we're going to try to plan out our mountain. We'll see what happens. Literally see what happens. I've never painted on a canvas like this before, so I don't know how it's going to move, right? So it's going to be a learning process for everyone on what's going to happen when we start blending all this stuff out, right? And if you've never painted on a print before, maybe this will be a good video you could watch and sort of, you know, adapt to your own painting. All right, I've painted on 500 canvases, 400, 500 million canvases we painted on, right? Never painted on like a printed on canvas like this. Well, maybe that's not true. We did, you know, our big Mordor painting. It was never turned into a video, but we did a big painting of Mordor from Lord of the Rings that one of our friends gave us. They had a family portrait that was printed on a canvas, and they didn't like the family portrait or whatever reason, gave it to me, and I just blacked it all out with Bob Ross Liquid Black. And then once it was black, I went and painted that Mordor scene. But this one is just straight onto the canvas with some liquid clear. And we're going to see what it's going to turn out to be, right? I mean, I could do the whole thing in liquid clear. I just, I don't know. You have this matte look and a gloss look. Screw it. We're going to do the whole thing. We're going to take this. We're going to come back and forth. Hopefully we don't have too much on there. And I'm going to show you guys a trick, okay? Come back and forth. Get our arm exercise in. Not going to have to go to the gym today. Like we go to the gym. Gym. All right. Now that we've got our liquid clear on there, right? You can take a paper towel and literally wipe it off, right? You're never going to get all of it. I like to come to one side too. Just like this. Make it nice and even across the whole thing. And you're never going to be able to get all of it off of the canvas. So don't worry. This is just picking up any excess that may be more difficult for us to work with, as we go on with the painting. You can still see, at least I can see from my angle, that it's very wet still. Very slick. And you need it to be wet if we want these paints to move, right? Get you guys a little live look into the studio. All right, we're going to clean this brush off with a little bit of paint thinner here. Right into our beater bucket and then onto a paper towel. Feels like it's been forever since I painted in front of you guys. It really has. It was only a week. If we're being honest, it was about a week. All right, now I don't think I really need any clouds or anything in this painting, just because it's already all done for me, right? With this beautiful background, why would I want to go put anything else on this background to change it, right? That's why we got it, because we like the background. Okay. Like that, just blending in these last little streaks of liquid clear. Right? Alright. Let's get to it. Again, if you guys want to see the up-close and personal version of this painting when we start showing details, go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/happylittlelandscapes. And right here on the brand new hats, Happy Little Landscapes, right? And that'll take you to my YouTube channel. Subscribe and you'll get all these crazy videos and different tutorials you can try, right? Alright, so if we're going to make up a mountain in my mind, let's do it like Bob did it. And we'll do it with crimson black and phthalo blue, right? A lot of the times, I say black all the time. Today we're actually using the mountain mixture, which I tend to like a little bit more. That already pre-mixed mountain mixture that Bob makes to do his mountains. And I like Bob's paint to do our big areas because it's very thick versus the MagicFly paints, which are sort of wet. They're more wet than the other paints are. And, they're much better for highlights, I think, in my mind. Alright, let's grab up some of this dark paint. We're going to flatten it out, really mix it up, right? Grab up a bit of that and decide where our mountain is going to live. You know what, why don't we do it off from this side? Let's bring in this just giant chunk of dark, right? And you just make your mountain look however you want it to look. Don't want it to be like a pyramid, right? Don't want it to have it look like a pyramid. It doesn't have to be pointy. Doesn't have to do anything really, right? And then we're going to come in and just drop in excess bits of color in different places. It might be hard for you guys to see, but there are spaces of canvas in between the paint. And you do it like that, at least I do it like that, because I want to keep that guy. Look at this. You can almost see this face and a body shape, right, in this galactic cloud. So I want to keep that guy there. But you almost do it like that because as you pull, as you start blending and you start pulling that out, all those different spaces in between will give you these cool little shadows and colors, and it'll start to plan out your mountain before you even get a chance. Then you can look and you go, okay, well there should be some highlight here, there was a hill over there, or wherever. honestly doesn't matter much. Let's come in, we're going to come back up over here like this. We're not going to go crazy, right? We're just going to come in. Oh, you can see all the different blues with the dark colors in there, different peaks, different humps. It's got a lot of liquid clear on that canvas, boy. See, you try to scrape it off, and even after scraping it off, there's still tons on there. Tons. Look at that. And just like that, we can sort of plan out our mountain, sort of plan out the sky that we want, right? It's very bright over here, so we can imagine all of our highlights will be on the one side and our shadows will be on the other. Just sort of pick, right? I mean, I think when they released all these colors, all these images, there must have been thousands of images, and I must have selected, I don't know, 10, 20, 30, 100, whatever it was. And this was one of my favorite ones, and I actually paid to get it printed onto a canvas like this, just so eventually, and this was early on in my painting career. I've had this sitting in my hallway for a long time, but eventually I knew I was going to try to do something with it, and like I said, today is that day, guys. And you guys are in luck. We're fresh back off of vacation. This is the first painting we've done since we've come back, and right now I think it's going to look neat the way we have it there. Again, it might be hard for you guys to see right now, but oh, look at that. Just blend it out. The cool thing with this liquid clear, you know what I want to do too? Add a little bit of white in here, just different areas, just to brighten up the color. Right? I don't need it to be so dark back there. So if we're going to try to keep it lighter, you know, we could have mixed it in initially when we did the thing. And then we can come back and highlight it too. Don't worry about that, but I want the base color. See that? Ooh, look at that color, baby. Woo, look at that color. I want it to be a little bit lighter than it was, obviously. All right, make sure we got some nice straight edges. We can bring our cliffs down with, right? Big bing bang. You don't want to make them straight either. Throw some humps in there, and then don't over blend it. You want to have these different colors. Maybe this side comes over here. It's like a darker ridge, right? And then bam, right into some lighter blue. Throw just the teeniest bit of white in there, right? And we're making it up on the fly. This is how we're doing it. Coming down like this, and now it's getting into the part where I might have to get in front of you guys to be able to see just from the glare on that canvas, man. A little bit of that, and then we can fix that stuff. Bring some of that lighter blue up there. Maybe it comes down, maybe it goes up. Totally up to us what we want it to look like. All right, maybe we got this bit comes over here, and then we got this larger area that comes down. Let me grab this guy up here. It's a very blue mountain. There's a lot of blue with this black and crimson. Not a lot of crimson made it into the pile, guys. Look at that. Just from putting in those little streaks of white, right? We can sort of brighten up certain areas. Leave certain areas darker. And that will sort of give us an idea on what, you know, where we can put our shadows and stuff, right? Ooh, that looks nice. Bring this guy down a little bit more, though. Right, grab some of that thick color, drag it down. You can leave it sort of foggy-ish at the bottom. We can see through it anyway. Man, that's looking neat right there with that thing. Guys, let me turn it like this, just a little. See what that looks like. Oh, that's much better for the live streamers. All the live streamers watching live. All right, take that. Grab the littlest bit of white, and I'm just going to add it to this guy just to bring him down in front, right? Like all the other ones kind of got lost back there. This little peak comes in front. You have some fog back in here. We're just literally making it up, right? Just the littlest bit of that white. Just sort of mess up the bottom of it just so it's nice and soft. You can bring these down as far as you want. You can leave them up as high as you want. Totally up to you what you want to do. The more we bring down, you know, you can go another way. You can add another bit. Add a little bump. Add a little something. Come over this way. Now it's a little bit darker over here, right? pull it off that way a little bit, and we'll throw some light on top of that, and we'll just see what it looks like. Back in here. There we go. Take the littlest bit, just a color, right? Not trying to highlight it, just want to have a little bit of difference, right? A little bit of difference makes the world go round. There we go. All right, just a crazy looking gigantic mountain. This canvas is it's big. There we go. You just make it look however you want, you know what I mean? And this just sort of sets us up for what our shadows would look like. You could leave it just like this. Like, it looks great the way it is. The thing is so big, I have to look at it from multiple angles. Multiple angles. So if I get in your way for a second, don't worry, I will pop out of the way. Yeah, that is neat, guys. A bit of rock over here. Maybe it connects in with that shadow right there. We'll hide our initial in there. Look, make a J. Just like that. Hide it in our painting, right? Okay, now what I want to do is come back in. Now that we've sort of taken this and really just been very careful on our edges, making sure we don't have anything sticking out of the top, right? Make sure it's nice and filled in very slowly along our edges, okay? Yeah. All right, we're going to clean off this brush in case we need to use it in a bit. If you guys are wondering, what does he put what's that machine that's making that noise? It's not a machine. It's my beater bucket. I have a golf ball basket down in the bottom of it, which just gives me multiple surfaces that I hit the brush on. Makes sort of a cool noise. All right, now we have the decision to make. Well, I have the decision to make, since I can't see everybody's comments in the lives right now, of whether to do, like, you know, white, you know, like normal snow, or should we do some crazy sort of, you know, green or purple, or, you know, some strange psychedelic sort of color, right? We could do a bunch of different colors. And then we're going to have our acid lake down here, a couple tall trees, so we got to keep that in mind. And then I'm going to have this giant, like, tree with these eyeballs coming out of the branch. It's going to be neat. That's the plan. That's the plan anyway. All right, what are we going to do? Look at this gold color, you guys. It's like sparkly. Oh, it's beautiful. I got to figure out where I can put this gold. That's all I wanted to do, is make a painting video so I could use this gold color today, okay? You caught me. That's it. All right, if all of our light source is coming from the side, you know, maybe this side is in the shadow and all the light is hitting on that edge. So we got to decide what our highlight color is going to be. And you know, I could do a green, but there's so much green in the sky anyway. So decisions, folks. What do we do? What do we do? Let's see. Let's see if I can telepathically connect to anybody and see if you choose the color that I'm about to choose, okay? Let's see here. All right, I bet you didn't choose it. We're going to do a little bit of white and crimson over here. Got a little bit of the little snag of blue in there. All right, maybe we'll have some of that for one section of our mountain. Have that kind of crimsony whitish color. We'll go with a sort of a blue shadow. Maybe we can do some blue highlights too. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So we'll take blue, white, a little bit of the black, sort of dull it down and make that shadowy color. And why not? We could do multiple colored mountains. It does not matter, right? It's literally space. We can do whatever the heck we want, right? Okay, so we're going to take a little bit of the blue just for our shadowy bits and sort of drop it in there. Right? It's a little bit brighter than some of the blue areas of our mountain, which is okay. Right, we're going to slowly, or not slowly, I mean, you got to sort of do it quick, right? I'm going to pull down very quickly, and you can see my knife is just about the same angle as my canvas. So if yours is flat, you need to be holding your knife flat. You don't want to scrape it where the blade of your knife is against the canvas. You want to be holding it very, very much, perpendicular. All right, let's throw a little bit of snow off the back of this sucker. And the more you work at it, the more you're going to smush those little cool little breaks, okay? So you got to sort of do it quickly and get out of there. The more you do, the more it's going to smash that one cool little thing that you had going on, and you know, then you're going to be mad about it. Let's take a little bit of black. Let me come down over here. It's all about your angles of your land, right? I get a little bit of the dark color back up inside the edge of almost like a wave. This thing is casting the shadows. It looks really neat. There we go. Now we can come in, we'll get our sort of pinkish color that we created, and come up here and just start laying it down in different places, right? Right on the edge of our mountaintop, and just dropping it down the slopes, right? If you do it quickly, you'll get this cool effect where it breaks. And then just be mindful not to go back over those same breaks, you know, right away, because it'll smash all of them. Sort of take a step back and look and see, and you can judge how, you know, how softly you're holding the knife just by how much it's letting it break onto the mountain, right? So we've got these different striations. Maybe there's a bit of shadowing in here, just a couple little rocks here and there. Down around the bottom it's a little darker. I love making these kind of spooky, shadowy sort of, almost like rocks that didn't get covered in our mountain snow, right? Got a little bit of our pink come down here. Maybe it goes off this way. Sometimes it looks neat. A lot of times it's just the angle that you pull your snow on, right? And now we have these cool bits in different places that have broken. You know, and get this cool look. So just play with it every once in a while. Try something new, right? Try something crazy. Crazy, crazy. Something you never would have thought of before. There we go. Just going over that shadow with a little bit of dark there. And then why don't we put a little bit of, we'll do some Indian yellow highlights for this guy right here, right? It's going to come down. I'm going to separate him from the back. Throw a little bit of Indian yellow and white down in there. And that'll be the lighter side to this guy, right? And just play with it till you like it, but don't overdo it, right? Don't need to overdo it. Every so often you gotta force it in there to get the look you want, but sometimes you pay the price, right? You never know what it's gonna look like until it's done. I'm gonna take a little bit of just straight up red too. Throw that in with this guy. Just in different places. So now we've got white, yellow, red, all sort of mixed in different spots. And it looks really good, guys. A little bit of dark in there every so often. Just remember, a couple little rocks didn't get covered. They're too tall, right? Doesn't look too bad. We can even finish off the top of this sucker with some pink. Just because I didn't like the way that it looked, really. Alright, now we've got this giant rock. It's coming up over the top. We've got these shadows down here. Let's see. Take a little bit more of our crimson and white, but this time I'm going to put a little bit more crimson in. Make it a little bit darker. Just so we can see that there's a change. Just a change in the color of those crimsons, right? Remember, you don't want to cover up your shadows. You want to have these different places where, you know, the light is going to hit in different spots. And I tend not to make them in a straight line, right? I don't like stuff in a straight line. So you have these different areas where these are kind of casting these shadows over. And if we're going to have some there, we might as well put another here, and then maybe we can change color, right? Come over this side. There's a ridge that comes down this way now. You can see just from making the, just from making our shadows one way or highlights one way, then you can sort of create how it looks the other way. We went down here, so screw it, there's a ridge now. Maybe this ridge comes in front and it goes out somewhere else. It's totally up to us, right? Whatever we want to do is what we're going to do. Let's see, you're going to take a little bit of dark color and just sort of mush that in there. Dragging it down different places, right? Just to dull it a little. We want to be mindful that these reds are our highlights. You can even take this right here. Look at all the paint that comes off of that thing right there. Just didn't like that color. Every time I looked at it, it was a different color, and I didn't like any of them. All right, now let's get a little bit of that dark, a little bit of that blue down in here. And you'll find a lot of the times that I just talk to myself. So, you know, keep up, keep up. Everybody's got to keep up with the pace. All right, a couple little shadows, just little guys. Wherever the light is, it's just having a tough time getting to, right? A couple little bits back and forth. The more little shadows and stuff you add, the crazier it's going to look. All right, we'll say this last bit, maybe there's a bit of light down here and a bit of dark up there, so why don't we change the color before we get it all over our shirt and wipe some of these runners. Man, I really want to use this gold paint, you guys. We could do like gold highlights on this bigger mountain with like yellow ochre, maybe. There's a, you know, there's a chance. We're going to see what it looks like for sure. Oh my, look at that, guys. Can you see all those little sparkles and stuff in there? Oh, it's going to be great. All right, we're going to want to mix it with a little bit of our white though, just because I want it to be a little bit thicker, and these MagicFly paints are just a little thin. They're perfect for putting highlights on trees and stuff, but I like my mountains to be very textured and thick, you know what I mean? And you guys like that too, that's why you hang around and watch this crazy old guy paint. Okay, let's see. Why don't we put like a bit, maybe there's just a little test area, a little tester of this gold color mixed in with that white. It's very bright. Very bright. Let's see what we can do about that, guys. Let's see what we can do about the color. Oh, that's better right there. I threw a little bit more gold in, a little bit of yellow ochre, and that white, and we have this nice, beautiful color right here. So like we're gonna scrape all that stuff off. It never even happened. Did you see it? Because I didn't see it. Was it on video? Did someone catch it? All right, a little bit of gold, a little bit of white. We're gonna come, ooh, that's much better. Then we come down like this, and then there's another slope, right? All depends on how you move your knife. Can't just do it all haphazardly. Right, there's a slope that comes down this way, maybe. Everything's in the light until we get this little bit of shadow up here, right? Scrape that off, a little bit over here, gets a little light, a little darker over there. Now we've got this little difference. And then we can come back in and adjust it and fix it, do all that other stuff. All right, now what if we just do a little bit of the yellow ochre in our shadowy areas and just changes that color just a little bit. Then we could add just a touch of brown to our yellow ochre, give it that sort of sandy color. Again, we're just literally making this up, guys. Literally making it up as we go along, and I like to show you guys that you can do different sort of things with these crazy colors, and you know, you never have to just do the same thing over and over and over again. You don't have to paint the same landscape. You don't have to put the same tree in the same spot. I know I look sort of funny because I'm trying to see the painting without standing in front of it and blocking the cameras with my gigantic head, right? So we got that, a little bit of darker shadow, maybe it comes up, maybe there's a little bit that goes down there. And you can see the difference, and especially when we start mixing it in with this dark color that's behind there, it'll start to change and you'll get these shadows and light areas all on its own, which is what I think is cool. You know what I mean? You don't really have to do much. Just trust that the canvas and the paints are going to blend on their own for you. A little bit down, a couple little bits of love, right? There we go. And just change it. And just do whatever. Totally up to us. We're making this up as we go, right? Maybe this bit comes down. Maybe there's a bit of darker shadow down in here. And then we'll do like one light streak. Like there was a ski slope. It was like, it just came running down through, you know, where you could ski. Totally up to us what we want to do. Let me throw a little bit of red. Just straight up red. Red is very hard to get bright on its own. Right? So you always got to have a little bit of that white in there. And watch this change. Look at how much brighter it is like that. Right? Come down. Again, we're not trying to cover everywhere, because you want to have those different colors, the different texture look, right? You want it to be different. So let it be different. Throw some different colors in here. The blue, the dark, I mean, straight up black if you wanted to, right? Just to really push that other bit back. You're going to have that little black line there. I get it. If that's your prerogative, that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. All right, we're going to come down just very lightly until we like the way that it looks, right? And you need to take a step back and check it out and see what it looks like. And realize maybe we need just a bit more dark in this red up here. I don't want to get rid of the red. I want to have a bit of dark in there, and then maybe this side comes over in front. And it's all about our brush strokes, right? Whatever we decide it's going to look like. It's going to have that big shadow right in the front there. That's what it's going to be. And that's what's going to be. There we go. Bit of dark. We may need to really come back in and just really darken up some of these darker highlights here where that blue was. It's just sometimes I go back and I look and it's just never as dark as I wanted it to be initially. So right, gotta make do with what we have. Put a little bit of dark there. I don't want these lighter blue areas to be misconstrued as highlights versus shadows, right? So that's what we're gonna do. Man, this yellow mountain over here looks awesome. What's cool about that, now that we know how cool it looks, we can take our, you know, in our lighter areas and throw like the smallest little bit of, you know, maybe there's a bit of ore in these mountains and it's all leading up to this giant section, you know what I mean? Just a little bit of this gold and white and yellow ochre, whatever other color we put in there, right? Man, that looks neat. See? As you do it and you try something, then you realize, you know, that this entire mountain needs a little touch of this in different places, right? Not all over the place, not super thick, but in different places. And it'll almost look like we've got, you know, this giant mountain of gold that's just waiting to be excavated, right? Let's see if we can keep it dark down in here. Oh yeah. But you can still tell there's a little bit of ore and gold in them there hills, right? Get some gold in them there hills. Man, that's looking good. All right, let's throw in some of that shadow up here. Some of the times, you know, when you have these flat surfaces, it's never all that same highlight color, guys. So you got to throw a little bit of the shadows in there, right? A little shadow, maybe there, maybe there, maybe there. Then we got this little flat top to our mountain. Done this whole thing with a palette knife. Haven't even touched it yet. Right? Maybe there's a brighter area over here that's getting hit. As we come down, switch back to that darker color. Right? Just sort of dropping it in there, and whatever sticks, sticks. Don't want to force it. Don't want to force it. Okay? There we go. We've got this crazy huge thing over here we still got to deal with. I think this painting's going to turn out longer than expected. Where are we at? 36 minutes already. My goodness. What should we do, guys? What should we do? I love this gold. It is literally gorgeous. All right, let's take some of this. Let's get a clean knife first. Don't you hate that when you go to pull out, you think you have a clean knife, you go to pull out a little stripe of paint and it's some disgusting, gross color that you didn't plan on, right? Little streaks of yellow inside of our shadows look cool too. But that's not what we're here for, guys. Come on. Oh, that yellow just is such a cool, like, acid color yellow. It's so neat. And right now we're going to try to turn it into this sort of greenish, yellowish fog, right? Down around the bottom of this little cliff. There it goes. First one since we've been back. All right. Let's see what we can do here. All right, we're just going to fog it up just by pushing on it. And this canvas is very bouncy, so if you're seeing a lot of glare back and forth, it's not my fault, guys. It's the canvas. All right, we just want to get a little bit of fog in there. Sort of this greenish color, right? You could even say, I mean, we could use this as a background for like some far off trees or whatever the case. And now we're sort of just swiping up on the bottom of our highlights, right? In the direction that we put them on. So everything stays right. Don't worry about getting little bits down here. We can totally fix that. Go up here, a little bit of shadows. Just sort of blurs our shadows. And takes away a little bit of the texture at the bottom so our top stays real nice and crisp, right? You can go up as high as you feel comfortable with, okay? Totally up to you guys. And that'll leave us a little area where we can sort of make something out of nothing, right? See how I turn the brush like that? We're going to turn it back this way now. Just sort of dragging the color down, dragging it down. Whatever's there, we're going to drag it until we get like this little foggy sort of look. Switch brushes here. There we go. Get this little foggy area down here. Which again, may be hard for you guys to see, may not be. Maybe right out in the open. Now what we're going to do, we're going to go green on this side. I like that green over there. I like the way that looks. So let's get a little bit of white. I'm going to come back over into our little mixing station over here, you could call it, right? Get a little bit of white, a little bit of green. There's some of the blue that's getting mixed up in there. It's not all just, you know, this one bland color, right? And why don't we take some of this? We're going to come up here and see what we can leave, right? Some of the times if you make these little rounded motions, it'll give the effect that you've got this, like, you know, bit of a round piece of rock or something. It all doesn't have to be in a very straight line, right? Doesn't have to be in a straight line at all, and they don't have to connect. You want to leave little dark areas in there. Little different pieces of mystery, right? What's over there? What's behind that? What's buried deep in the crevice of one of these things that we just really can't see, right? That's what makes someone want to stare at your painting for just a little bit longer. And we're going to take our phthalo green now. Mix that in with just a little bit of white as well, and then we're just going to cast our shadows. And all we have is just this little difference in color, right? Little highlight areas, little low lit areas. And again, we're not covering all of our dark areas either. You want to leave it so it looks very rocky. You know, let's see what this looks like. Here you go with the glare. That's still pretty cool. I like that. We got this bit over here that's like, you know, shooting off to the side. Remember, your angles are important. Then we'll come down. This kind of goes this way. You never know. Little bits, bright and dark areas. That's all we really care about. And we're going to come back in and really darken up these shadows with our black. Just in different spots. Different rocks are casting different shadows in different places, right? And that's what it's about. And again, we're still not covering all of our initial dark area. There's a little bit in here. A little bit over there. But we're not covering up even the darkest. I can still pick out little rocks, call them, right? Little rocks that are sticking out from the original canvas, okay? Because we haven't covered everything. Alright, that looks pretty good. I'm going to take that. Again, follow your lines the way you laid it out. You want it to have like this blurry look. Okay? That's what that's what swiping it does. It sort of pushes it off into the distance, alright? Alright, now we have these this crazy bit. This crazy bit of something over here, guys. Why don't we throw a little bit of phthalo green, a little bit of our white, right? And then maybe we can add just a couple little bits of grass that like grow up this mountain, right? Way off back there. It's very, just a couple little bits, just by kind of tapping them the way they are. And then come back in and just hit them until they go very soft, right? It's hard on this canvas, it bounces so much, right? Here we go. Very soft. And now we have this, you don't know if it's grass, you don't know if they're trees. If we're on an alien planet, we don't know what the heck is going on. But we have some sort of detail and some sort of difference down here on this hill, okay? Look at my knife. It's like it looks like somebody got body paint on them. It's like a rave club. Alright, let's see what we're doing. Sneak in front of you guys real quick. Why don't we do one more little bit of mountain over here? Just one little bit. Like it comes out. Maybe there's a flat section. It comes out. Drops off, okay? Just like this. You could call it a rock. You could call it a boulder or a mountain or whatever you want. I'm going to take it over here, and you can see we've, now we have this dark line in between our brighter colors back there, which pushes that mountain backwards. Pushes it back there deep. Alright. All we're doing is just sort of mixing this bit up down here, just to give us our, our little fog where our shoreline is going to be. For our little acid lake, right? Get some taller trees, taller bushes over here. We've got our rock over here. I do love this gold highlight color, guys, so we're going to use it again. Again, not everywhere, right? Don't need it to be everywhere. Want to have some shadows in there. This is where I accidentally make a face or a number or a letter. Sometimes when I'm doing these things, and then I step back and I look at what I've just laid down, and then it looks like a baby in the cloud or some type of something, and it was completely, I tell people I did it on purpose, but I definitely didn't. Definitely not, guys. Let's get a little bit more brown than we did yellow ochre on this one, because these shadows are going to be a little bit darker, right? A little bit darker than the other ones. I like this combination of colors, though. I'm going to use this more in my desert paintings for sure. This gold is just a beautiful gold. You cannot beat this gold. And I've been hesitant to use the gold from the MagicFly set because, I didn't know where I was even gonna, what I was even gonna use it on. What do you use gold in unless you're painting, like a ring from The Ring or Lord of the Rings? Right? What else are we using gold for? Maybe a sunset, but again, I don't like using MagicFly paints for the sky because they're very thin, you know what I mean? So, what are we really doing? Alright, we're going to make these little shadowy areas, just with the same color that we made up the initial mountain with, right? Very textured, very shadowed. And again, you don't have to see everything. Your mind will make up what is there where you can't see. Okay, so have your light areas, have your dark areas, but you don't have to cover every single piece of, the rock or every bit of the mountain or whatever you're doing. With your eye will sort of decide what else goes underneath. For free. It does that for free. It should charge you, but it does it for free. Okay, we're going to come down. We're going to just very lightly Use my 2-inch brush, cover more distance, right? This side we came up this way. This side we came up this way. Again, just very lightly doing it. And then we're going to mix all that stuff into our fog down here. And again, I don't even do it on a straight line, right? We came down, we came up, came down again. I hate fog that goes straight across, you know, whatever you're trying to paint. And it's just irritating. I like this green bit that we were going to bounce a tree off of in the background. It's going to be great, you guys. One thing I don't like is this bit of yellow in my little shadowy area here. And we changed up the color. Changed up the shape of it, right? Let's see. I just wanted one more little bit to come, you know, if we're going to have this shadow over there, we got to have a light area. There we go. Okay. I always get sidetracked, guys. It's almost like we got this thing we could make. We could do you could do tons of anything from this angle. You know what I mean? We could literally change our idea, do whatever we wanted to do, and it would still be wicked awesome. Love that over there. All right. Let's decide, guys. Let's decide. We're going to want some bushes in here. We're going to want some trees. So why not not right over the guy's face. Not right here, though. I'm going to clear out some of this paint, just because it gets more difficult to paint when you have a lot on your canvas, right? I know I'm going to want a tree over there. I'm going to want something over here. It's, you know, we're going to decide. We're going to decide, well, maybe we'll throw one right off the front. But who knows? I know I'm going to want one right here. At least. And that was very thick. Sort of bothered me, so. Okay. Let's see. We're going to go in. We're going to make up some more of our shadowy color, right? Just like Bob does. Blue, crimson, black for the majority. You get this real dark, sort of purplish, blackish. Depends on how much, you know, blue and crimson and black ratio you have. But we're not here for a science class, Josh. Come on. Come on. Alright, I'm going to take my size 10 fan brush here. This one's a Master's Touch. I think I got it from Hobby Lobby. You can get them on my Amazon shop as well. Amazon.com/shop/happylandscapeart. Very easy website. Now, when we come down, we're just going to do, just to see what it's going to look like, put a whacking tree about right there. Alright, and a very straight, pointy top. And then we're going to turn and be very careful on this canvas just because it bounces so much. Right? It's very strange because of the bounce. It's not as tight as a normal canvas would be, so you get these big bounces and your brush just wants to stay stuck. Okay, there we go. Nice little tree right there. That looks good. Let me throw it. Maybe a shorter one? Taller one? What do you guys think? Shorter? Taller? Let's see. We'll keep them about the same size. Save all your real tall stuff for the very front. Go like that. Again, coming and pushing in with the corner. And now by the time that we get down here, we're using all of the bristles of the fan brush, kind of rotating back and forth like that, right? But initially, we're just using the very corner bit to make those nice and, you know, pointy at the top. All right, we're gonna have some bushes over here. Let's see. I never make enough paint up to begin with. Don't know why. Maybe my palette size, that could be it. I never have a big enough pile of paint to start with, whatever I want to do. But I love making my paintings very, very textured. So if you like a nice, thick painting that you can actually feel when you get done, this is the channel for you guys, right? You guys can buy the new hats, right? What do you think of the red? I like the red. I barely ever wear any red clothing, but I, for some reason, love this red hat. Brand new in the shop, etsy.com/shop/happylandscapeart. Get yourself a red hat. Okay, why don't we come over here? A little bit taller, a little bit bigger of a guy, right? Again, just using the tip of our brush and being careful because this canvas is very bouncy, right? Now that I know where my tree's going to be, I'm going to come in and just clear away some of that paint, and that way it'll make it easier for my thick, sort of shadowy color to stick on, right? I'm going to make it stick. I want the canvas to, I want there to, be paint sticking off of it. So when you grab it with your, when you touch the brush to the canvas, you almost want it to stick there and pull paint away, right? That's how you get all those cool little texture bit, little tiny tree, little needle looking thing. You get all these cool details just from having it real thick, right? All right, let's do one more over here. Nothing crazy, just a little guy, not even taller than the mountain, right? And this should be easier because there's not so much thick paint over here. We've already gone over it with our 2-inch brush, and you can see how I still have paint as we get down to the bottom of our tree. Don't have to mess about with it. And our branches go a little haywire up here at the top. They don't have to be similar, right? It doesn't all have to look the same. Don't have to be the same height. Doesn't have to do anything. But I like mine to have a certain look to them, I guess. Put a little bush back here. A couple bushes. We get our light area, dark area, lights and darks and everything in between. Let me throw one more over here, I guess. Try to scoop up all that paint into these bristles. And why not? I'm going to show you guys a little tiny trick, right? Just get the teeniest little bit of paint thinner on your brush. All right, we're using liquid clear. We don't want a lot of paint thinner, but we want enough to be able to just go over this thick paint in one go, right? So we just need the littlest bit. Get it up into our paint so it's a little bit thinner than the thick stuff that's on there. And then we're just going to come down. And you can see it has dropped it right over all of that thick stuff pretty much in one go. Didn't have to really mess with it a lot, right? Man, that looks neat. I need to put more like gold rocks in the front or something. Such a cool color. I'm going to use that color so much more. All right, now initially your shadow doesn't really have to look like a tree. You just want to have that sort of shape. We're not finished, so don't stress about it. We need to go back over and highlight these branches. There we go, get that thick paint off. These Master Touch brushes, I mean, I beat them against my beater bucket the same way I do a big, thick, 2-inch brush, and they last, these Master Touches. The Bob Ross ones I was done with in like a few months, just for all the bristles are falling out, they didn't make a shape I wanted to make anymore. It was a big deal. All right, let's take in here. I'm gonna grab some of that brown, a little bit of our blue, some crimson, some black. Again, just mix it all up. The only difference is we added brown into this. And it's really only because we're running out of our shadowy color, right? Gotta save, gotta plan for the future. Not for any other paintings, just, I don't want to go back into the box in a live video and get a new thing of paint. I think after so much time I should have it, pretty planned out. But this is a big canvas, so give me a break, guys. All right, I love just this little touch of fog in the back, right? Don't want to leave too much. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. This over here seems like it's a little too bright, right? Just a little bit. Okay. All right, let's see what we're going to do here. We need to make up some bushes. I'm going to use the Bob Ross 1/2-inch round, right? His little 1/2-inch round brush. You can see it's slightly used. If you don't have this one, you can do it with the 1-inch brush. You could do it with the 2-inch brush. You could do it with a fan brush. You can do anything. You just sort of make it up as you go along, right? You just need it to be thick. So what I like to do is just sort of bounce it into the end of these bristles here in the nice thick part of my painting, and then we're going to come back in and let's say there's a big old bush that just lives over here. You get all these crazy leaves, right? Little leaf details and stuff in there. Little leaf details. And then we can go back in and highlight those bushes, right? This one I'll make a little bit bigger. So we can come up here. Maybe we got some that come off the side over here. Whatever, doesn't matter. All right, maybe these guys can be gigantic over here. I don't care. Could be a whole other bit of a tree. And they can look however you want them to look in your painting. All we're doing is just sort of blobbing them on right now. All right, leave a little bit underneath so we can pull it out. Don't want to lose our shoreline and stuff, right? And come down. Do we throw one more in right there, or do we just leave that bit of open, bright rock? Look at that thing. It's beautiful. Beautiful. I'm going to leave that there. I'm going to put like the teeniest little bush down underneath, right? That's all we really need, guys. Just a little bush down there. You know what? Even though I hate to do it, you got to cover over some of it, right? It's got to push it back. All right. And get these bushes down here. These ones are a little bit bigger. I want my shoreline to be relatively straight. Okay. So we need all this dark color down in here. And this, don't get nervous. This is the point where you're just dabbing in color and you're like, oh my god, if I keep going, it's just gonna mess this thing. It's just gonna be all black. All right, don't worry. There will be that point where your brain will see the different bushes. I mean, we're gonna put a bush in front of this tree, even though we didn't paint, the initial shadow of it. So don't worry. Okay. Come over here. Everything's nice. Now we're gonna take our 1-inch brush and we're gonna pick a spot, maybe directly in the center, right? So everything from the center is going to come this way. We're just making that little bit of ground, right? A little bit of shore for our acid lake. Everything from the side goes this way. Again, I don't want it to be in a straight line, so mine's kind of on this arc. It's the plan anyway. All right, then we're going to have our little, we could leave this as the water, so it would be a reflection of the sky. Should we do that is going to be the question. All right, let's throw in some dirt and then we'll find out. We'll find it, because this does not reflect right above it, right? And you would imagine if you were looking at it, that it would be reflective of what's directly in front. And if we do an acid green lake, we don't have to do any reflections at all. So why don't we do that? We got it out. We might as well use it, right? We get our 1-inch brush. That's why we got all this cad yellow out. So we could make this acid lake. And you do that with green and cad yellow. You can use phthalo green. You can use sap green. You can use whatever green you want. I'm using all three. Right? You don't have to mix it in perfectly. They don't all have to be the same. And you don't want them all the same, really. But you want them to come across our bottom, just like this, right? You're like, gosh, there's nothing over here on the edge. You just wait, fellas and ladies. We're going to grab that green again. The yellow, excuse me. Excuse me, madam. We're going to grab the yellow, and we're just going to brighten up areas with this yellow, like that. Look at, ooh. It's like a little shimmer on the water, right? A little shimmer. And they don't all have to be in the same spot or the same thickness or anything, okay? We just want them to be there. I want to see all these different greens and yellows in your guys' painting when you send yours in, okay? And you don't have to order a print or anything. You can, paint your own sort of spacey sky. And if you don't know how to do that, I've got tutorials for you guys to check out, okay? Because we love space around here. Yeah, nice green. It almost needs more yellow though, guys. I want it to be brighter. So we're just going to keep adding yellow. You can even snag a little bit of white, put it in with that yellow, and really brighten up certain bits. Like maybe there's a sea monster coming to life back here. Where's Luca? B, Luca's in my painting. My daughter and I have been watching Luca. And he's a sea monster. But this is a space sea monster, so it's even scarier. Okay? Again, I don't want to cover up all the darks. I want to have little bits of different colors, right? Again, maybe there's some type of giant octopus that lives underneath. It's going to come out and kill us all. Run for it. This is Land of the Lost. That was more a dinosaur than an octopus, but you guys know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen Land of the Lost, you better get on it. Alright, we're going to take some of our white, a little bit of our brown, going to make up some dirt color over here. Now let's throw it into some of this gold. That'll give it a cool look. A little bit different look, than a little different color, right? That's what's so cool about painting. We start out with so many colors, and by the end, you have all of these different colors that we've used just from mixing in different things, right? Okay, so if our shoreline is back here, and our bushes back there, I'm going to go like this. Just throw a little bit of dirt in. Right, again, we're not covering all the shadows. I don't want to mess about with everything. That's a lot of paint right there, guys. I'm just going to sort of block in some dirt, and then I'm going to pull it out a little bit for you, okay? Doesn't need to be super textured right here. This side we're going to see what we look like. And we come down. Okay, looking good over there. And a little bit of shoreline. And then we can mess around with that and do whatever we want. Right, this side's in the dark, so it's going to be much darker as we get over to this side. And the way we're going to do that is just use brown over here, just a straight up dark sienna. We're going to mix these in so these colors sort of blend into shadow, right? Now we have this bit of kind of transition between light and dark over here. See what I mean? All the lights onto that side. We got this darker bit over here. And it's looking good. Put a little bit down there too. Alright. Get a little bit of our dark sienna. And just start sort of dropping in some rocks. Just very sloppily. Very sloppy, because we're going to have all these bushes and stuff to deal with. Tons of different things. So we're just going to drop in just some texture on top of our water, right? Just like that. This side we're going to be a little bit darker. Not just going to use the straight black, though. We're going to mix in a little bit more of the brown, but initially we're just going with that same big pile of paint that we made for our shadows and stuff, okay? Put on a little bit of dark color there, and then every so often, maybe there's a little bit of light that sneaks through the trees, a little bit of shadow over here, a little bit over there. Not too crazy though, right? Don't want it to be too bright. There we go. All right. Man, it's been a long one today. Where are we at? 105. I didn't even have to paint the sky. I was hoping this would be quicker. Oh, the very last day that you can't open up your liquid white. That's when you need to get a new one. Mix that sucker up. Okay. I'm taking some of that liquid white over here and mixing it in with the bright yellowish greenish mixture that we made our acid lake with, right? And we're going to come in and just sort of cut in some water. And remember, it doesn't have to be even. It doesn't have to be all the same. Doesn't have to touch. Doesn't have to connect. What I like doing sometimes is dropping in a line of dark and then going over that with our white again. Okay, and all that does is just leave like a little ridge where our water is going to sit, and then as our white goes over the top of that ridge, it's going to look like a little bit of wave. It'll have a little shadow underneath it. And that is what looks really cool. And it helps sort of change the color of your waterline too. As you go over it back and forth, it starts to change it. Let's come over here. All right, we got this little bit of light color over some dark color. And that gives you these sort of little mini shadows for your waves and your waterline to sit on. Right? You can have them at different heights. They don't all have to just come to one side and stop. You know what I mean? You can have different levels, different little rapids, all sorts of stuff you can do. You know, totally up to you. How do you want yours to look? Is the question. Maybe some of that dark color is a different chemical that we're, you know, our little acid is eating or mixing with. Totally up to us. Totally. And I'm going to take this, that brighter goldish color again, and we're going to go over just a few little areas, just brighten up these areas with little differences in color, right? We got our shadows, got our highlights, and then our sun or our light source sort of disappears behind over here. And we can take, with that last bit of our little brown that we have, come in and just give us into the shadow over here. Almost like there's a little path that goes off back there. Either way. Liquid white is just about dead. Definitely needs some new stuff. And what we're going to do about that is go like this. Okay. We're back. We have loads. We didn't go anywhere, but we're back. Paint all over the place. Now we're going to highlight all these trees, right? I mean, you could leave yours in the shadow. They look kind of neat. They look neat as this shadowy bunch of stuff, but we got all these colors out for a reason, and we haven't even used 7 of them yet, so let's do that. Let's try that. What colors are we going to make these trees? You don't want to make them just regular old green trees, right? We're in space. We're on some crazy planet. So let's decide. Let's make some decisions and rock and roll. Again, you can catch the edited version of this video on my YouTube page, youtube.com/happy little landscapes. If you're like, oh, I wish you would zoom in and show the details, that's what we do on YouTube, right? So if you want to see a more in-depth, right? I don't even know how else to describe it. It's a more close-up view, but you get the same view that you're here, and you know, but we zoom in when we go to make the details and stuff. All right, I'm gonna do that. I don't think we're gonna need the 2-inch brush anymore, so let's just get it out of here. Just get her up out the way. Okay. Now we're going to switch to our micro fan brushes, okay? These are from Nick Pro. Again, you can find these, and you can usually find them for a little bit cheaper on my Amazon shop link, which is amazon.com/shop/happylandscapeart. And these are going to allow us, with these, you know, much smaller bristles, to get many more branches and details and stuff in there, okay? So why don't, for right now, we're going to get a little bit of liquid white, and screw it, we'll go into the rose color, right? We have this rose and magenta, this very pinkish color, okay? Now, why don't we come up here, And again, with these very small brushes, you get very, very small little details. A lot of times with your bigger brush, you start going over your tree and it either gets filled up too quickly, or you get a lot of mud mixing because you're pushing too hard, or your paint isn't thin enough on the edge. Tons of reasons why you can have, why your tree can get mixed up. But with these little smaller branches, and you can see, even as we go down, we have, 10 times more little bristles and little branches in our tree than we would have, if we would use a bigger brush. So now we got this pink tree, and as we come down into the shade, we're going to change it into this magenta, right? Very similar in color, okay, but a little bit different. Again, we're going to stay on the edges of our branches down here and pop them out just like that, okay? A little difference in color as we go. Just a bit. We're going to have to change this up now. A couple little dark shadows in there. All right, and you can pick any color you want. It doesn't have to be the colors that I used or the color that I have. You can literally do whatever you want to do. You can make them all pink, or you can make them green, or you could make, you can have them yellow, you can have them blue, for heck's sake. You can have them anything. Let's stick my whole palette in the old pile of paint back there, trying to clean it off. Okay. All right, well, let's do something different on this next one, okay? So we'll do, why don't we do gold? I love this gold so much. Any chance to use this gold, and I'm going to use it. You can almost get, too much liquid white with the gold. I really want the gold to stand out. So let me do this guy right here. We're going to pop a little straight line like that, and then start adding our little bristles. And again, as we go down, your one side is going to turn very dark. So flip it over. Be very light, because those first ones are now going to be very bright, right? Drop in a little gold tree right there. The more you push into the canvas, the higher up on your brush you're going to go, right? So the more you push in, the higher up it's going to be, but it's also going to have this different look to it. They're not going to be very small. Okay, got our gold tree. I do think some of these trees deserve a little bit of tree trunk. What do you guys think? Yeah, I'll take that as a yeah. Just a little bit. Don't want to have too much, don't want to have it in the same area. Right, you use too much of it in the same area, it's going to look strange. Ooh, that's a crazy... That's what you get when you paint on an angle, guys. There we go. Alright, a little bit more liquid white. Let's do like a orangish yellowish tree. All right, this is a cool color actually right here. We do this guy, we'll put a little straight point on him. And now as we come down over our trunk, you want to leave some of the trunk to show. Right? Otherwise, what's the point of putting it in there? Leave some of it showing. And again, down here we're going to cover it with these bushes. So every tree is a little bit different. Everything's going to be different. Different color, different everything. Get all that dark off of there, and then we're going to come in and take a little bit of this yellow with this green and the white, really brighten it up. Just give it that little difference in color, right? A little bit different. A bit more liquid white right here. And we're going to come in on this little guy. Since he's in the yellow, I want him to stand out. Oh, he's very bright. Look at that. Look at this guy right here. There we go. Against all that other green back there. Oh, it looks great. All right, now we need something to stand out. Stand out away from that green color over here. We could do a purple one. That would look neat. If we had like this purpley color, right? A little bit of dark purple on the bottom, a little bit of light purple on the top. That's gonna look fancy, guys. A little bit here. Oh yeah, look at that. Stand out away from the color of the mountain behind it. Right? Just pops it out at you. I don't want to have anything, it's hard to have something that's real close in color and have it stand out away from that same sort of color behind it. That's what I love about these little mini branches, little mini brushes, right? They may get full a little bit quicker where you have to sort of wipe them off and get your color back on there again. But they give you such cool little details across your whole thing. Very neat. And you get this whole set for like 15 bucks or something. They're like crazy cheap for these little paintbrushes. Considering, you know, other brushes. These are very cheap little brushes. Here we go. Again, we didn't go all the way down the tree, right? You don't need to. Don't need to go all the way down. Don't gotta go down that tree. Look at that thing, man. That is looking cool. All right, now it's time to really go nuts with these bushes. So I'm going to use the same sort of the half-inch round or the half round or whatever he calls it, half-size round. I can't even read it. It's my handle is so degraded by now. I'm going to touch just a little bit of liquid white right onto the tips of the bristles, and then we're going to go ahead and pick a color. Okay, for right now I'm thinking this sort of phthalo-y green color for this bush down here, right? Again, leave dark areas and light areas. They don't all have to be the same. You don't want them to be the same. Come back in just with a little bit of white. Make some of those little areas a little bit brighter. But you don't want these colors. You want to have black around the bottom. You want to have black in between. You want to have black around, in the front, in the back. You want to have it everywhere. Maybe this guy needs a little bit of a yellow friend to live next to, right? Maybe on this side, we've got this bright red bit of bush here. Another one over here. Right? Totally up to us what we want it to look like, what colors it's going to be. You can even take that, grab a little bit of that magenta, right? Touch it up in different places with just a little bit of pink. A couple little pinks here and there, right? Not really washing the brush, just dabbing it off because we're touching it so lightly, right? When we come in, we'll get some more of that gold and white. And I wanted to do another one, but I don't want it to be so close to there. So why don't we pop in a bit of gold over here. Totally up to us, again, what we want it to look like. What have we not done? Let's get a blue one. We haven't done a blue bush, guys. A blue bush. Again, leaving bits of light and dark everywhere. Right? You don't want to have too much. What color have we not used? We've used every color. Every stinking one. A little bit of yellow ochre. You can see there's like a little shadowy difference between those two. There we go. Again, try not to do your whole bush in just one color, right? It's never one color out in nature, so I guess it's never one color out in space either. I don't want to have all this same color. Look at that. Guys, that looks really neat. I even have to come over here pour that on this guy over here. See, there we go. And just like that, guys, throw in a couple little sticks and twigs with our, can't use our palette knife, right? Because we didn't start with a white canvas, therefore it won't scratch anything in. So we're going to just use our little micro liner brush, right? Some sticks in, holding all this stuff up down here. I'm just using liquid white. It changes every time, right? So let's grab some gold. And maybe in the blue we can throw some gold branches kind of popping out everywhere, sort of holding them up in the bottom. A couple little sticks and twigs kind of popping up everywhere, right? Gotta have it like that. Nothing just sits out there and floats. I don't even care if it's space or not. I'm just gonna float, so let's throw some little stickies in there. You can put these cool little details in, and when someone is really looking at buying your painting and they're zoomed in on your photo and they're really inspecting it, they're going to see all these cool little sticks and twigs and different things that you put in. Take the time and the effort to stick them all in there, and they're going to be like, man, how long did it take that guy or that girl, how long did it take them to put in all those little different colored sticks and twigs and different things, you know, and that's going to make them appreciate your painting even more and want to buy it, right? If you're selling. If you're not selling, then it'll be for your own eye, right? We need to put something right here, guys. Something right there. I mean, we could leave it like this. We could do a whole nother tree where I was talking about putting a big tree with a bunch of eyeballs hanging off the branches and stuff. We may have to come back and do that on another video, because just the amount of slick wetness that this painting is already. We could do like one more boulder down here. Put this guy in the forefront. Look at that, just like that, we change our painting up, guys. Alright, really fill him in down at the bottom. Push them off the bottom of the canvas. And around the side, why not? There we go. Take and throw some of that gold on this guy just because it's so up close, and it's just really gonna bring this little guy right out into the forefront. Just like that. One little swipe of his knife, guys. There we go. Just bring that sucker out. Come say hello, my friend. Come say hello to everybody. There we go. Let's finish these last couple branches, guys. And then I think we're going to cut it off just because we're just running a little late today. Alright, and we got this guy's got a branch that comes out like that. Another little tree. Got all lost back there, right? And there's another one down here. So I love these little dark areas. You can just sit and add different things and play back and forth until your heart is content. There we go. A couple more little sticks, guys, and I swear to God we'll be done. See, I want some of them to be bright, some of them to be dark. Oh, that's too much. There we go. There we go. Some coming out the top. Just like that. There we go. Looking good. Looking good to me. Put that big old hanging branch off the side. It'd be neat. But for now, how long have we been going? About an hour and a half. What's it look like to my guys here? Man, that looks cool. Look at that. Sorry. Hi, welcome everyone. We're here at the end of the painting, if you've just joined in. You know, sort of try to do this crazy scene on this already printed canvas that had this sort of spacey scene behind it. It turned out really, really good. I really like how it looks. Really. Put a couple little bits of branch we forgot inside that guy. But all in all, it's fantastic. Got this boulder down here. We have our land, our texture. You know what I mean? Different things, different rocks, different stuff everywhere. You guys know me. I can't help but put in shadows. I really can't. I will sit here and stare at this sucker until I feel that the shadows are sufficient. There we go. Just a couple little imperfections, right? Just has to look messy, that's all. That's what we do. At Happy Little Landscapes, we make a mess, right? I did that for the YouTube camera. You guys will have to watch YouTube in order for it to make sense, okay? Don't bust my coconuts. Alright, well, we used every single color out of the 19 colors that we started with today. Thank you guys for joining in on the live videos. You can purchase the brushes, you know, the easel, well, you can't purchase this canvas, but I do have canvases available. All the brushes we use, the brush cleaner, everything that I use, I've made an extensive list on Amazon, and you can go through and pick out, you know, the exact things that I have if you want to paint just like me, okay? So I appreciate my fans. It's good to be back after those few days off on vacation. I was jonesing for a painting video, so we came back and we knocked this sucker out right here, and it turned out really good. So leave a comment how you guys think it turned out, if it turned out as well as you had thought, or better, or worse. You know, I'm not a Nancy. I can take, you know, bad comments. If you want to leave me some negative feedback, I can handle that. Let's go. Let's rock and roll on the feedback, baby. Let's do it. There we go. Just a little bit underneath. Damn. I mean, you can take and put like grass up the side of your things or whatever, but I wanted mine really textured, really thick, and you know, really awesome. So thanks for staying with me, guys. You can go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/happylittlelandscapes. The same as my you know, Facebook. Well, it's not the same. It's I'm going to explain in a minute. But go to Happy Little Landscapes on YouTube, and you'll be able to find all the tutorials that I have. Different space tutorials, different regular ones, snowy, desert, summer, winter, all sorts of stuff. They're all free. You know, subscribe, share them, share the link when you do your versions. I'd love to see if you guys can come up with one like this, even with just a plain blue sky. It's just it's a cool kind of a composition. So, you know, send them in, send them to Facebook. You can search Facebook at Happy Landscape Art. For some reason, Happy Little Landscapes was too long of a tag, so at Happy Landscape Art will take you to Happy Little Landscapes page. You can find me on Instagram at Happy Little Landscapes. I'm on Twitch and Pinterest and Amazon Live. Everything you can think of, I am on. So, again, I want to thank you guys for staying with me. I really love how these turned out. Like all these different colors in the bushes, the beautiful gold, you know, rocks, just everything. Everything. I love it. We'll see how quickly this one sells, right? It'll be available on Etsy, etsy.com/shop/happylandscapeart. 24 by 36 inches, very large, and in charge, right? It'll fill a nice room. So hope you guys like it. Hope you really try this one. And without any more blabbing, we're going to say goodbye and catch you guys on the next painting. Bow! Right? For anyone who's ever seen any of my YouTube videos. Now this is the part where we create the intro to kind of get you guys to paint it, right? And, oh, look, this you can paint this, blah. And then you go, oh, I can paint that. And then you try my video, right? So, show you guys some classified stuff that you would normally only see if you watched a YouTube video. Let me take a break. This is where all the bloopers come in too, because now that I've been talking for an hour and a half, now I have to nail in one full take everything that I want to say with no breaks and try not to look stupid in one piece. So there's a lot of bloopers till I get that one. It's alright, we're going to do it in one take this time. Disappoint everybody, okay? Get this crap out of my way. Hey guys, Josh, Happy Little Landscapes, back again today. A 24 by 36 inch canvas. This canvas I ordered online. It was a print of the galaxy, really, and I knew I could do something with it. So I figured, you know, now's the time. Today is the day, right? And you guys are watching it. So you're obviously excited about painting this painting. Let's get to it. I'm going to show you the 19 colors that we used, all the brushes that we have, and show you step by step how to get this one to come together and look just like this. So if you're ready, I'm ready. We're going to do it just like, I already said that, didn't I? This. Wow. And then you see this giant explosion in my video. And then I pop back like nothing even happened. Maybe I need to think about a new transition. Alright, one more time. Hey guys, Josh, Happy Little Landscapes, back again today. 24 by 36 inch canvas that we ordered online. It's a print that NASA had took a snapshot of in deep space, and I knew I wanted to do some kind of crazy psychedelic scene with it. So that's what we did, and you guys sat here and watched it with us. God damn it. See? This is when it happens. You forget. I've already done one. Did I say what I said in the last take? I don't know. Did I forget something from before? You have to get it all in one long go. It's not as easy as it seems. And I've had like a week and a half off from painting, so give me a break. Here we go. Hey guys, Josh, Happy Little Landscapes, back again today with this beautiful 24 by 30 inch psychedelic space landscape, right? The initial canvas was a print that I had ordered. It came with the space landscape on it, and then we covered it in liquid clear and sort of just went to town on this crazy, you know, psychedelic landscape. All these different colors, 19 different colors we use in here. Check the description down below. You can find all the colors that we used in this painting, all the brushes. You can get all of your supplies if you don't have, you know, the same color paint or the MagicFly paints or the brushes. You can order them on Amazon. I tell you the link, it's down in the description below. I must say it 5 or 6 times throughout the video, so I'm not going to say it again. But you guys are obviously excited about painting this painting. We're going to get to it and show you step by step how we created it and how you can do just the same. So sit back and relax, or get your paint stuff out and follow along. Are you ready? Let's do it just like this. Bow! I mean, that wasn't bad. Was that bad? Anyone? Do I have any feedback? Is there any feedback? Allison Phipp is watching. Look at how that came out, Allison. Isn't that gorgeous? And it was a long video too. It's going to take me forever to edit this video. But yeah, brand new hats, guys, available in the shop. Support me in my Etsy store. You know, then I can keep buying more canvases and more supplies and keep bringing you guys new videos. This might actually not even make it in the video. I have to like chop and pull, and it's a pain in the butt. So, other than that, we're going to call it a day, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for sticking with us on Facebook and such. There's a couple little lines right there I just want to get rid of. And see what we can do here. Show you guys some more classified stuff. See if we can drop this sucker. Alright, oh, it's very slow. Okay, there we go. All I wanted to make sure was we got the bottom covered in our acid lake. So just like that. This is the stuff that I do when I turn the camera off, because this isn't fun. Nobody wants to watch me do this, right? You guys aren't looking at that going, oh, I'm so glad that Josh, you know, showed us how to get the very bottom of the canvas done. I'm so glad that he showed us what he does in his off time when the camera's not rolling, right? No one cares. So, okay, I mean, you could put a big planet up here. I could put a UFO up here in the future. If this one doesn't sell the way it is, we could add a UFO. Or some clients have been messaging me and saying, you know, I really like this one, but it needs a UFO. Can you add it, and how much? And I'm like, yes, I can, and this much. Yes, I can, and it's going to be this much. I just sold one recently, one of my favorite paintings, and the client asked for a UFO in it, and it ended up turning out really good. That's how the most people find me. If they're searching through my Etsy shop, they're either looking for like psychedelic something or UFO art. And that brings the boys to the yard. My UFO art brings the boys to the yard. Like my milkshake. Did anyone get that? No? It's not funny if I have to explain it, guys. It's not funny. Alright. Well, I have missed everyone. I hope you guys missed me last week. I'll be going live again Sunday. So what's today? Friday. Go live again on Sunday on my Happy Little Landscapes page, which will eventually get dropped into the groups that we're in right now. We're in the Bob Ross Oil Painting for Beginners group right now. So if you guys want to take any crazy chances and do a scene like this, and you know where to come to, right? I have such awesome fans too. People will comment in other people's posts like, "Oh, Josh is really good. You should check him out." And every time I read that, I'm like, "Oh, you guys are so sweet." I'm just sitting here making stuff up as I go. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, I have a fan base, and I have people that expect me to be putting out stuff, and it's really neat. It's sort of changed my life a little. So, all right, we got everything all cleaned up, brushed off, dusted off. I can't imagine anyone is still watching. Right? No one is still watching this. If they are, they're just barely coming in. So as we clean up, I just want to tell you guys, we made this step-by-step painting video. It's going to be available on YouTube. You might be able to go back and watch it in the Bob Ross Beginner Oil Painting group and find it in there. But I just wanted to go crazy, went with like 19 different colors, and just had a blast of a time with all these things. So now that we're cleaning up, we did that 24 by 30 inch canvas. I wish I could do wish I could clean up over here and read your guys' comments. Love you, babe. I see your video or your comment. Love you. Yeah, turned out really good. But I was right. No one's watching. That's funny. Here we go. I might save some of this actually. I'm using another painting. I definitely need to get more paints, babe, if you're watching. We need to get a whole nother big set, and it's like $300 or something for all the dang colors. We might as well get a whole nother set. It's not like I'm not going to use them. That was the initial fear when we first got into doing this. There's a financial little hump you have to get over to get all this stuff. And some people are worried that they may not be good enough at it to justify that purchase, you know what I mean? So hopefully my wife thinks now that I'm good at it enough to justify some more paint. But we'll see. We shall see. I can't believe I had to do all this in that thing. All this paint has to go to waste. Guys. That's alright, I ordered new liquid white. It should be here soon. There's so many things you have to have in order to paint in the Bob Ross style. You know what I mean? You gotta have your paint thinner, you gotta have somewhere to beat the brush, you gotta have your liquid clear, liquid black, and liquid white, and all the colors and all the brushes and paper towels and so much stuff. Just be able to paint a little picture, right? Paint a pic. See if my wife wrote back. No, not yet. Okay, well, for anyone just tuning in, we finished this giant 24 by 36 inch canvas. It was initially a print that I had ordered from NASA. They had released a whole bunch of images for free to everybody to use. So I said, all right, I went and got one. This was like a year and a half ago when I first started painting, way back when. And I was like, eventually I'll do something with that. It was on sale, you know what I mean? So I was like, even if I sell it the way it is, I'll still make a little bit of money because I got it on sale. But yeah, today was the day we eventually painted on it, and it turned into this crazy sort of psychedelic scene. So if you want to learn how to paint it, you're in the right spot, and you can find it in the Bob Ross Oil Painting group or youtube.com/Happy Little Landscapes. You guys can go to happylittlelandscapes.com and find everywhere that I am. Got the brand new hats, got new styles, new colors, new paintings all the time. Check out the shop and support my Etsy shop. The more things you guys buy, even little $20 hats, the more canvases I can buy and keep bringing you guys new videos. So if that's something that you're into and you like watching me, support the shop. I have stickers. I've got little phone cases for 21 bucks. All sorts of stuff at different price ranges. It's not just you know, gigantic, super expensive paintings. It's all sorts of little things too. So, all right, we are finally done, and I need to go get washed up. These clear palettes, I always think I'm going to set them down and forget it because you can't really see once they go down onto the table. But, all right, you guys take care. Thanks for sticking with me. We've got to go clean up and, you know, live the rest of our life, right? So, have fun, and you guys try this. Send it in facebook.com/happylandscapeart. That's my Happy Little Landscapes Facebook page. I'll be live again on Sunday, and we'll come up with some sort of crazy scene that you guys help with, right? You guys always throw suggestions in. It's like an improv painting. Oh, put a cabin in there, put this in there, put a tree, put a fence, put this, put that. And we try to mash it all up into one big piece, right? So we'll see you guys on Sunday, and until then, have a great day. Get one more look at this as we walk away slowly from the camera, fade into darkness. Bye, guys.